Alrighty, so I have been playing Illusion Connect for a little while. I was getting a lot of ads and stuff like that for this game, and my brother even was kind of like a little bit interested, and he told me that he wanted me to make a video on it specifically because he keeps seeing ads and keeps, you know, he just wants to know what it's about. And I mean, I was kind of curious too, because some of the ads are a little provocative, I guess, and some of the characters look really cool. Obviously it's got a bunch of anime waifus in it, so you know, all of these gacha games sort of you know, play by that same set of rules, but this one is actually kind of cool. I actually like the combat in this game quite a bit because so far it reminds me a lot of a Mega Man game that I used to play when I was a kid. I think it was Battle Network, but it had sort of this like grid based, like tile sort of like play style where you would place units on it, and then those units would be able to attack the same sort of like row of tiles. So this game sort of runs by that same sort of mechanic. Obviously there are certain characters that can attack more than one tile. There are certain characters that do AoE, which hits all of the tiles. The character that I have right there in the front is actually one of the AoE, sort of like every tile sort of attack. But yeah, so she's really good. Actually, I'm really glad that I have her. But your main goal here in the gameplay, at least, is there is one character in the back middle slot that is your king, basically, like your main unit, your leader, and you want to make sure that you keep them protected at all times. Because if they die, then the game is over, like you lose the stage. So it's pretty simple, actually. I guess if you really wanted to, as long as you can sort of bypass either the characters in their lane, like this move right here does AoE on all of the tiles in that in that row. But as long as you're doing enough damage to the leader, you really don't have to worry about too many of the other characters on the board, as long as they're not like super, you know, damage dealers that are going to ruin your team. Obviously, if you want to, you gotta make sure you get some of those out of the way if they're causing you too much trouble or anything like that. But I mean, as far as it goes, it's pretty like simple, as far as like you need to make sure you kill their leader, make sure you protect your leader. So you want to put units in front of yours. There's even like certain characters that can kind of defend, and like I don't know if it's really like a taunt or what, but like I notice that with this character that I have right here, the one with the sort of like weird aura around her, a lot of the characters will attack her first because she's sort of like a tank in the game, so that's really cool. But yeah, I've actually been kind of enjoying this game a little bit, and normally I don't play these like sort of like one-off games too much, but this one is actually kind of cool. Like I've just been running through, and I mean, the game is pretty generous, especially like when you first start out. I know a lot of them are whenever you first start out, but this one has given me a ton of free like little diamonds and stuff like that. And surprisingly, the diamonds aren't super hard to come by, I guess you could say. Like you get a lot of them in just various different little places for, you know, just various things such as quests, you know, doing story, different kinds of game modes and stuff like that give them to you, of course. But the only thing that's kind of weird is I don't really understand the whole, like, every game is completely different when it comes to the currency in their game. So I like 7 Deadly Sins, but even though it could be dumbed down a little bit, like, so with 7 Deadly Sins, it's 30 gems in that game is enough to do a multi. And it's 3 gems to do a single. I guess if you really wanted to, you could dumb it down and do 1 gem for a single and 10 gems for a multi. But this game is a little bit different, and you have to buy tickets. And the tickets for, you know, 1 ticket is 200, and then for 10 tickets, it's 1880. So you get a discount actually for buying this one. But it's just, I don't know, I guess the fact that they use different values for everything and every single game is different, it just kind of throws me off, I guess. Like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. But that's the only one thing that like I noticed with a lot of different gacha games, but obviously that's not like really a downside. The gameplay is pretty simple, straightforward. That's kind of what I've already showed you. There are a couple of different kinds of gameplay. Like there's an exploration mode where you actually run around in like an open world sort of situation where you have like goals and stuff like that, and you run through and you do all the goals. It's a little time consuming, so I don't really want to like go into one right now. but I'm sure you could look one up and find that if you really want to. It's sort of like a side sort of game mode as well. Like, it's not something that you're going to be doing all the time anyway. I thought it was pretty cool, but it was a little bit more time consuming, and you really don't get a whole lot of crazy stuff from doing it. So I feel like the time to sort of like reward ratio there was a little bit off, and it just seemed a little bit more tedious to do those. So I'm not really that big of a fan of that. But as far as like the actual characters and stuff like that goes, a lot of them have like cool and interesting designs. Obviously, a lot of them are, you know, anime girls, but the top rarity is SSR, of course, and the lowest rarity is rare. But even some of the rares in the game like have really fantastic art and stuff like that, which is always cool to see. I don't know specifically if any of them are super viable. I know a lot of games are super biased towards like the highest rarity. I know Seven Deadly Sins is one where pretty much if it's not an SSR character in Seven Deadly Sins, then the character is basically not good at all and they're pretty much useless. But I don't know for sure. Obviously, this is the girl that I was using in the game who is this sort of tank character, and she was actually a lot of fun to use. Like, she's actually a pretty good unit, and she's just a rare. So I mean, as far as I've kind of like messed with it, a lot of the different rarities could be construed as pretty decent. But obviously, I don't have a whole lot of different characters at this point because I'm, you know, sort of just starting out. So yeah, obviously I may end up getting newer characters that are just way better than her, and I just don't realize it yet. But, you know, coming from a newer player, I haven't had too much of an issue using lower rarity characters, which is always kind of a nice thing. So yeah, other than that, I mean, you can obviously team build and stuff like that. It's a little bit different than normal gacha games, I feel like, because in normal gacha games, I feel like you either make like a team of 3 or 4 characters or whatever, but because this is like a grid-based like strategy sort of system where you know, you put characters onto a board, you can actually put a lot of different characters into your like sort of team. And I'm pretty sure that when you first start off the match, it kind of like selects a random 4 of the characters you have in your team and sort of puts them eligible to be placed on the board. And as you use up characters, it pulls a new character from, you know, the ones that you didn't already have into your hand. So that way you can put those onto the board as well. So I guess there is a little bit of RNG with the whole like, you know, pulling characters at the beginning of the match sort of thing. But I mean, as long as each character is somebody that you use and you power up and stuff like that, obviously it shouldn't be too much of an issue. The other thing that I noticed is that I was really bad. Like, I pulled these 2 SSR characters pretty much really early on, and I pretty much just tried to pour a ton of resources into these 2 characters so that way they could sort of like carry, because I was going to eventually, you know, try to pull more SSR characters. And I haven't used any of my summon tickets basically yet. The only summons that I've done are the like tutorial summons or whatever, which is where I actually got this character right here from. But yeah, honestly, it did not work. Like, pouring just my resources into these 2 characters did not work at all. So you definitely want to spread the wealth a little bit and make sure that you sort of level up your other characters. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, but, you know, obviously I was just trying to, you know, test some stuff out and rush through some of the gameplay and get some gems and stuff like that so I could summon. But yeah, definitely spread it out. Like, make sure you manage your whole team, because it definitely pays off and your team is going to run a lot more effectively. So I guess we're going to hop over really quick and try to do some summons. I have 70 tickets, so that should be 7 multis worth. And I think I'm going to summon on this little Noble Knight banner, because apparently this character is really, really good, and I like both of these character designs, whereas this one's kind of cool. Like, I love the sort of like Egyptian style of this character, but I'm not really big on that one. I don't know if she's actually any good or not, but I don't know. This banner just seems a little bit more appealing to me. So let me swap over so that way you guys can see the face cam, and then we'll do some summons. Okay, so here I am. Let us do some of these summons, because I had pretty decent luck within the sort of like, you know, tutorial summons, but then again, it could have been just sort of like rigged. I don't know exactly what the rates are in this game specifically. I don't know if there's a way to tell. Probability of obtaining an SSR card, SR, and a rare card in this gacha is 2%, 15%, and 83%. So an SSR card is 2%, which is even lower than Seven Deadly Sins, surprisingly, which is not very good. Miyuki and Kiraya, which are the 2 featured units, says that the 2 characters take up 50% of the chance of drawing SSR cards. So I guess it's a 1% chance to pull a featured unit, whereas the other ones, I guess it's just sort of the rest of them are just thrown in. So I guess let's see if we can summon for them. I know they're doing a login bonus right now where you can get this character right here on day 8, I think, of logging in. So I mean, potentially I could end up getting her later anyway, but yeah, let's just hop in and do some of these. I actually kind of like this sort of summon animation. I don't know if a whole lot of it is different really, because I've only seen it once or twice, but I don't know what any of it means yet. So all right, we got Gigi, Shanti, she's really cool, Shachiko, Penny, she's got a fucking shotgun. Okay. Okay, Carol, she's kind of cool with that little sword. Another Carol. Rie or Ray. I think I already have this one, Mary. Another Mary. Loro, I don't think I have her. So we got 2 SRs and a bunch of rares. Obviously, you know, with the rates being as low as they are, you know, but this, surprisingly, this is a lot newer of a game than I originally thought it was. I think the game launched on October 22nd of this year, so it's only been out for roughly a month at this point. So I think they've been pretty good about like maintaining the launch of the game and giving out a pretty decent amount of rewards and stuff like that. And by the way, if you actually want to get into the game, look up promo codes for this game, because there is a ton of them out there. There's a ton for different kinds of like content creators and stuff like that. I'm assuming that they either paid them to play the game or whatever the case may be, but there was a ton. Like, there's a ton of promo codes that give you a bunch of free rewards and stuff like that. So I definitely recommend, if you want to try the game and get into it, grab all those promo code rewards, because they're free, they're out there, and they're not hard to find. So Anne is a new character. I don't think I have her. She's kind of cool looking. Oh, okay, so we pulled Karaya. That's an SSR. She is probably the one that I wanted the most, just because I know if I log in for 8 days, I can try to get the other character already. So I mean, that is pretty sick, honestly. I'm pretty sure, so if you pull dupes in this game, I think it gives you sort of, I think I can go and look at it really quick just to show you guys, for example. So if you go to partners and I go to Karaya, if I go over to Lens, I think you pull these extra little like Karaya shards if I pull dupes of the character, which will let me in turn be able to upgrade the character and make them like a higher rarity, which makes them a lot better. So it's kind of like, you know, pulling dupes in other gacha games where I mean, certain ones in certain gacha games you can pull the same character and just have 2 of that character, but a lot of the ones that I normally play, it's, you know, there's a sort of a duplication system. If you're familiar with 7 Deadly Sins, you can upgrade their ultimate level if you pull dupes of the character. So it's kind of like that. You're just increasing the character's rarity, which in turn makes their stats and stuff like that better. So got another Mary, another Penny. We are getting a lot of rares. I'm assuming we'll probably end up getting most of the rares in the game just by doing this. We only got 1 SR off that one, so that's a little disappointing. We've got 40 tickets left. If I can pull another SR character on this banner, I may end up swapping over to the other one just to see if I can get anything decent. But yeah, because obviously we already got the one that I wanted from this banner, which is kind of cool. She's new, I think. I don't think I have her. Alice, another Penny, Flora. I think that's like my 3rd Flora. Maya, Polly, Penny. So, ton of pennies. We got 3 pennies just off that multi. We got 2 SRs off that one, so not too bad. I think we'll do 1 more, and then we'll probably try to hop over to the other banner just for whatever. No real reason. I don't know if there's a pity system in this game or not. I'm not quite sure, because like I said, I've really not done a whole lot of summonings besides these right here. So, yeah. I would imagine with a 2% SSR, yeah, 2% SSR rate, I would hope there's some sort of pity system in place. Okay, so we pulled another Karaya. She's really cool. Rikia? I don't know. I'm terrible with these sort of pronunciations, but we did pull another Karaya. So I think it said 60 of the pieces, so we should be able to potentially like rank her up or whatever you want to call it. So if we go to this and we go to Lens, yeah, so that gave us another thing, so we can Lens upgrade. Now it's a 4-star character, increases our statistics and stuff like that. It's a hollow star, which I'm not really quite sure on that. Looks like we can do Oh, okay, so it looks like you can add sort of other characters into this. Or you can use whatever this dust is, and I'm assuming that will make this a full star. Yeah, okay, and then you have to use the shards again for that specific character. Okay, so that's kind of cool. And then for this, actually, so I've noticed that whenever you lens upgrade a character, you can get some shards for another character. Obviously, this is the only character that I know of, and she's on a banner right now, so I just go for that. But I don't know if you can pick any of these other ones yet, but yeah, that's kind of cool. I'll probably end up trying to use her and see if she's any good, but I don't honestly know if she's good or not yet. So let's hop over and do the last 2 multis that we have on this banner really quick, see if we can pull that cool Egyptian girl, because that would be pretty crazy, because the 2% summon rate on this is very low, but the characters are really cool. I do like their designs. I really like the fact that the character art is really nice outside of the game, and then once you get into like the battle system, each character has their own like little like chibi sort of model. I think that's just kind of neat. It just really fits the sort of gameplay, I guess, with them being like lower, like smaller scaled, I guess. So okay, 1 SR off that one, so not great. We'll do this one last summon, and I think we'll call that a video. Let's see. I don't really understand what's going on. That looked like it was good. Okay. Ray, Penny, Mary, Nalyd. Dude. Okay, so I guess that was a good summon animation then. I guess. Dude, hell yeah. I'm super stoked that I got that. So I got the 2 characters that I wanted. Oh, okay. So I think we can actually do another multi now. Summon. Yeah, we've got another 10 tickets. I don't think we can do these 2 because they use a different kind of currency. There's this banner right here. And I don't really know what the deal with this one is. Looks like there's just pretty much any character ever on this banner. So, I don't know. We'll just throw it on this banner because why not? I don't know what this banner is really. It doesn't look like there's any sort of featured units on it, so maybe this was like the beginner sort of banner that you would want to summon on, maybe. Mia, Carol. It didn't look like the animation was very flashy, so I'm assuming we didn't get an SSR on this. She's kind of cool. Good lord. Anyway. Okay, so that's it for the summoning at least. Let me go over and see if I actually got enough of these little tickets or whatever for Finid Beth. Because I think I've gotten a decent amount of these. Okay, well, I only have 13 out of 60, so never mind. Cannot lens upgrade right now. But she's kind of cool. Like, I mean, she's very lewd, but it is what it is. I mean, a lot of people like that, I guess, but she's really cool as well. I really like this character's design, which a lot of them have really cool designs. So I guess that is pretty much gonna do it. I'll probably end up messing around with these characters a little bit more. I'll probably still end up playing this game for a little while until like I don't know. It's hard for me to juggle a whole bunch of different gacha games at one time. So I'll probably end up messing around with this one until I find a new kind of game that I want to try out and make a video on. But that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe for more content in the future, and I will see you guys in the next video.